the secretary. Okay, so we're going to start with my champion label. So I'm going to invite everyone to press F on the Trello and choose the label champion by Aldo. Okay, so I'm going to start with Initiative C, raising Bukit Vista awareness to global market. It's MC 7.0, get journalists to us by networking. So after my I already created the version of CIC article and already sent it to the Tick Travel. The link of the Dropbox I already attached it here too. And also since I already have the Bahasa version, I would like to start looking on the contact of journalists from national news, which I think I can find it with the channel of Instagram because we using Instagram for journalists of Detik Travel is currently working, and also about the newswire that I talked about on the previous cram. So they are working on membership fee and also they have rate per release, which I also attach the screenshot there. I think it's quite high, so I will abandon this PR newswire and maybe looking for some newswire that is coming with free maybe. And also next and also I will try to follow up with Yemi again since I got no reply from her yesterday to remind the networking that I will want to do with Yemi is to find the timing of the journalist and also the flow of the um, press media publishing. Then I will continue to initiative D with the interview to partner. So my updates here, I will have a sub discussion with Andre about the survey and the discussion about the distribution itself. That is my update here. I recently don't have the time yet, and I will update on the card if I already have it. And next to champion by Diba, so um from MB for the zero. So I will update the Kula best practice here and going to initiative the MA 1.3 website migration. So I already have the feedback here. So I think this feedback can also be brought up to the discussion management. And initiative C2, what DV rebranding will look like. So Device already finished the brand book. My topic on the discussion management will be about what will we do with the bus card here. So that is my update. That's the bus update. Also going to champion by Mas Gani.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to give the update from the initiative C. The card is MC 3.3 about optimize Bukit Vista Facebook page awareness. So basically, the update is I already post the partner testimonial post and Airbnb news video that I have created that I already attached the screenshot there. And the thing is that when we post the video, it will more perform rather than post the image. So for the next post, I will try to create more valuable videos to engage our property owner as an audience. And the second is the result of meeting with Andre and Mas Rizal yesterday regarding CSC video paid ads is we will boost paid ads the best CSC video and keep the CSC photos and article on Facebook page to raise branding organically. So we will boost the best video only, and the rest of video and article will be keep posting regularly on our page. And the last is me and Mas Tendi already agree to create a new initiative card on next week about creating Facebook group to engage our community. And I will give the update soon. Okay, I think that's from my update. Back to Mr. Chen.
Okay, thank you, Mas Denny, for your updates. Moving on to session by Hasbi. Okay, I already checked the level of Hasbi. Okay, Hasbi, your update, please.
Okay, so I've read about marketing and SEO from LinkedIn Learning, and from that I have identified keywords for my article, and subsequently I've changed my article title to be in line with the keyword research, and I've also outlined the 5 points I'll be doing for this article. That's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Hasbi. Is the article attached at the progress section
Yep, it is.
on the Dropbox? No. Okay.
Yep.
Everyone, if you want to check this progress on the article writing, you can just open the Dropbox paper attached on the progress section. Okay, thank you, Hasbi, for the update. Moving to Jing's champion label. Okay, Jing, your update, please.
Okay, thank you. My first card, MC3.1, this one has already been integrated into, I believe, into Gunny and Rizal's card. So I'm just going to move this over to Dun at this point. This one's already been superimposed into a different project. So I'll move that over. My next card, no update on the Thai property owners. Yeah, just haven't had time to. Oh, actually we do. Thank you, Aldo. So Aldo's got a new update. He's reached out to the string of, okay, cool, Pruska and some other development companies. Okay, thank you for that, Aldo. And for the first interviews with property owners, I haven't gotten this done, but what I'd like to do is this. I'd like to get this started and delegate it to Haspi for research. So this is approaching property owners in LinkedIn. Haspi already has my access to LinkedIn, so hopefully that can accelerate and get the outreach done. The next card is seeking professional guidance and mentorship from world-class online marketers. This one I've already gotten started, and I'd like to delegate immediately over to Haspi. I'd like Aldo to also be a mentor for Haspi on how to do professional networking. This is so that we constantly have a set of experts to guide us along. And gentlemen and ladies here, whenever we have issues, we can bring those questions to world-class experts. So this is running the continuous program. Haspi, I would like to delegate this to you. Would you accept the delegation?
You're muted, Hasbi.
Yep, I will. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you. So what I'm going to do, Haspi, is I'm going to tag your name on it, and over to Aldo. Aldo, I believe most of the material that we have for professional networking has already been documented, so I think Haspi can take a look at that. But if not, please guide Haspi along for how to do professional networking. Yeah?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jing, for the updates. And going to champion level, I will uncheck Jing and check Kezias. Okay, Kezias, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. So I will update. Start from card NB 2.2 Russian title translation. So until now, I still finished the rest of 259 listings to translate into Russian. And I have already done the 100 listing from the 200, etc. Translation listings. And maybe after that, I will also need pairing with Mas Rizal about how to see the inquiry and the things like that. But I still need to focus to finish the translation first. And next to my card MC 2.0, mm, my update is I attached on the comment section. As you can see, we got increased average insight result from last week from the feeds content and from the stories content too. And also thank you Mas Gani for notice that our Instagram performance has increased by almost 100%. But actually, I will need breakout meeting with Mas Gani too about this, about the insight result of Instagram after the Scrum, and the intended result will be get insight about the Instagram performance and the goal, and also the content ideas for the future contents that will fit Instagram goals. I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kezia, for your updates. Is the MC, sorry, about the Russian title translation, is it the updates on the Dropbox paper or on the CSV?
Oh, the update on the comment section on the Dropbox paper. You can see I the listing that I have translated and the listing that I have moved into the I changed it into the Airbnb profiles. I highlight it with the orange highlight. So yeah, you can see on the Dropbox paper there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kezia, for your updates. Going to Mas Rizal's update, I'm going to uncheck champion by Kezia and check champion by Mas Rizal. Okay, Mas Rizal, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. My first update is from um, uh, initiative A. It's from MA.4.0, reaching Thai property developer. So my update is the ads is already running, but previously it's not approved by Facebook because the caption is using word get that which is it means like MLM things. So if you can open the attachment, uh, that using multi-level marketing word will not accept by Facebook.
Okay.
Okay, and then there also like because depending approval is at set B, but the one get better performance is also at set B. So if you can open the screenshot, the comment, the best the better performance is on at set B. I don't know. This is maybe still I don't know the performance of the Facebook itself. Okay, that's for my update. And from the MA.3.0, I don't have any update from that, but basically there is still a zero inquiry to our contact. And I will move to initiative D. It's from MD1.1 hotel partner and preparing the product and services. So basically, I will have a pivot and create a new card, which is to create virtual acquisition tools that I already create the new card also. If you can move to card MD1.2, the I already read the iterated outcome, the hypothesis, and how we will know start from the intended outcome. My intended outcome will be have a higher number of prospective partner that give back to get back to us, and also higher ratio of outreach that convert to meeting confirm. My hypothesis is with using these tools, we can easily to make better approach and can shorten the journey of acquisition partner like the action we did before using explainer video and eye-catching pitch deck can help us to approach the partner. And also using elevator pitch method is help us to get the quality leads. And how we will know? We will testing using approach via LinkedIn and also using Facebook ads to get more leads that we can contact. And my progress is create the invitation deck and pitching deck that I already work with Wayana and Lilis. and also continue to produce the explainer video that because before previously we got friction that have not much RAM, but the RAM is already delivered. And yeah, that's my progress. And this project I will set to due date to 31st of July. This so it will be finished this month. And yeah, I think that's my update, and move to MD.5, get partnership with Bali Villa developer. So I don't have any update, but I want to propose to move this card to done, because I will focus on the part marketing funnel. I think that's all from my update. Back to Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Mas Rizal, for the updates. I think I'm going to Jing for, I think, clarification on the Steve.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Steve, I had to reschedule, and I'll reschedule and give an update on that. Steve is a contractor, and we wanted to ask him if we could do a partnership with him to figure out if we can exchange contacts. Sorry about it. Yeah, yesterday I couldn't meet Steve, so I had to reschedule, and I'll give an update on when the new dates will be.
Okay, I think my suggestion on this card is, I think we need to wait on Steve meeting. So after Steve meeting, we will consider it to be done, or maybe continue, but with maybe a different champion or different pivots. Okay, thank you, Mas Rizal, for the updates. Continue to champion by Wayana. Okay, Mo, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. So my update for this is actually from today's update. So basically, I get like 4 outreach. Respond to proposal 1. So long term one, there is a wooden complex, more like a guest house in Canggu, like pipe bungalows, and one deal short terms. That's my update.
Okay, thank you, Mo, for the updates. My suggestion maybe, so you have this MA 2.2.2.0 is left unupdated, and I think that all the pivot will be going to MA 2.3. So I think you could move the MA 2.0, 2.1, and 2.2 to done. So because there is no update, and all the pivots will become MA 2.3.
Sorry, Aldo, you breaking up. So I heard that you should just move to you suggest move to MA 2.0 to where?
I suggest MA 2.0, 2.1, and 2.2, move it to done, because your updates will be on MA 2.3, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, noted. Thank you, Aldo.
Thank you, Moayan. Okay, Jing.
Actually, sorry, I didn't get the update. What happened in Canggu? Would you be able to write that down onto MA 2.3? Because I heard it. Yeah.
So basically, outreach 4, respond to proposal 1, bid long-term 1, deal short-term is already updated on the card.
Okay. Complex of wooden house. Is there a name for the complex of wooden house?
Standard Bali.
Okay, could you put that on the thing so that it's easier to
Yes,
understand that? Okay.
Okay, thank you for your update, Mo. And I think that's all for the Scrum. Maybe I am going back to the feedback cycle for the bus champion card. It's on the MB wait MA 1.3 on initiative B. So my updates here is, since we believe who will be the champion of this card, and what is the next step of this pivot. That is my feedback from this card. I think I'm going to see the feedback to gather the feedback for my feedback. Maybe starting from Kezia.
Okay. So wait, I still find which card?
It's on initiative B.
Oh,
The card is MA 1.3.
MA. Okay.
It's on
So
initiative B.
maybe the champion will be like the collaboration champion between Mas Rizal, Mas Gani, and Aldo too. I think because the three of you are intense collaboration do this project too with Kak Diba, and yeah, I think that's my feedback for your feedback. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Kezia. Going to Hasbi maybe. Yeah, maybe. Hasbi. You're muted, Hasbi. I think I
Okay,
can.
I'm good. So I agree with what Kezia said. So for now, the champion will be those that are currently working on the project, like concurrently with Diba. But I think in the future you might want to add people onto the project and delegate more stuff. Like since you are more familiar with the project now, it will be better if you take over for now. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Going to Moayan. Is there any feedback?
I think it's very good for you. I've been put my card for a while, like put it there, and then you notice that it's supposed to be moved for a while ago. But thank you for support on that, and yeah, everything else good.
Okay, thank you, Mo. And I think I'm going to Mas Dani for feedback and also maybe clarification because you are one of the pivot team.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. I think your feedback is good. By the answer and by the giving the question, it's great. The clarity and the clarity culture in this chapter, and that's good. And and for answering your question, I will try to champion on manage property page on that new website, and I will try to improve that website to make better perform and can convert new leads. And so yeah, that's the update.
Okay,
So on this month, I will focus improving the manage property page.
okay.
That's,
So
yeah.
from what I get, I think that you will be championing this card.
Yeah. For this one, maybe I will move it to done, and I will create
Oh,
new.
oh, great. And also, I see Mas Rizal's feedback on the activity board. Probably you can also suggest the next champion based on your observation. Thank you, Mas Rizal. And also maybe there's some add for this comment, Mas Rizal.
Yeah, so basically, you already see the friction of these card, so you can um, came up with the came up and deliver it to the discussion, and also probably you can also suggest the next champion, so it will also attract the other members to what is called it also attract the other member to also think observe which people that can suggest to the next champion of this card also. Yeah, that's for my. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. And yeah, so I think based on the feedback of Mas Rizal and Mas Dani, I think that the new pivot will be championed by Mas Gani, and I think that Mas Rizal will temporarily champion this card because I think that you have an update here that you want to A/B test the landing page. So I think that you could take it over to this of this card until the A/B test is finished, and then we can move it to done and we'll move to the new pivot of Mas Gani. I think that's my conclusion. Okay. So that is all for the Scrum. Maybe back to Mr. Secretary. Do we have any backup meetings today?
Okay, so from my list is only from Kezia, which is it's from card MC.2.0 at time slot 1 immediately after the scrum, and the general meeting will using Selas Bayana Bukit Vista. And my suggestion is to Kezia, you can also invite on the Google Calendar, so you can see the schedule. Yeah, I think that's from the breakout meeting.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Secretary. I think the next thing is we can choose the next chair for the next Scrum on Monday. So I actually I already see the Mas Gani feedback, Mas Gani topic on the discussion management. I already add Hasbi here. So I think on this list, Hasbi will lead the Scrum on Monday. I will be the secretary, and the recorder will be. Okay. I think it's still low content.
Yeah, I think Aldo is freezing, and then Aldo, can you continue? Okay, I think Aldo is have a problem with the connection, so I'll try to leading the discussion.
I think
Hello, hello, yeah, hello, hello, hello. Okay, you guys can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start discuss on the discussion management paper. Wait, hold on. Let me see. Okay. Okay, so I think I will choose the what is it? From the result thread about the start to rename the initiative. We ordered the cards based on initiative and set the KPI. So basically, it's about the KPI initiative. Yeah. Okay. So let's start discuss about the please put your preferred metrics on the initiative. I see start from Aldo. It's finding product and market fit. Aldo said that the preferred metrics on the initiative is meeting converted and survey answered. Can you give us the explain about this one, Aldo? Why you put two metrics here?
So I see that the way that we can find it is by doing interviews and surveys to the customers, and I think I will focus on that um, from now, because and also I see there's things like um, bounce rate and etc. But I think I will focus on this meeting and survey for now.
I see. Okay. Okay. About this one, do you agree, Mas Rizal? What do you thought? What's your thought?
I think I agree with but I agree with the metric that using metric meeting converted and also survey answered, but we can also put the ratio of how many contact that we already outreach and how many contact that can confirm or convert that maybe that can be your metric too.
I see. Yeah. I agree with Mas Rizal. So, for the ratio, from the ratio data, it can apa ya, give us more data and decide which the approach that will be work best. So yeah, I think I propose. I suggest Aldo to add the ratio matrix. Okay, so I will ask more about to Jing. For what do you think about these three metrics right now? Meeting converted, survey answered, and the last is ratio.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think this is a good discussion, and thank you for having me here. So, in terms of a efficiency of work, yes, I think that is a good way to see if you're efficient in the work. But in terms of actually detecting product market fit, um, maybe not, right? So remember, product market fit, the end goal is to figure out what is it that we're trying to sell and if that actually has an actual consumer. So I would think success on that would be how frequently are you engaging customers, right? Actual customers who want to buy your product. And I think in a particular way, what Aldo is doing is he's trying out maybe different methods, right? So each pivot can be a particular method to find product market fit. So it can be what version of the product are we pitching to what market are we pitching to? So there's many combinations of that. Are we pitching the CRM? Are we pitching the marketplace tool? Are we pitching the revenue management tool? What is it that we're actually pitching? That's what we have today. What is it else that we might add as features to the product later? So then Aldo will then try different marketplaces to see where he will get success. He will maybe try the Thai developers, he'll try maybe Bali developers, he'll try all these different particular markets where we already have some surface contact. If Aldo is successful, that means more of his methods are actually bringing customers in, right? And that is working. The end result is that. The end result is how many potential partnerships have we gotten in. The metrics in the middle are useful for understanding efficiency, but they're not the end goal. Okay, so I think the end goal could be, all right, we have a potential beta customer, right? There's a potential person who will try our beta product. That would be the end goal. And how frequently we get that per span of time, that I think is product market fit. So if we can get 2 potential partners every week, then that's better than 0. And if we can get 4, that's better than 2, and so on and so forth. Yeah.
Okay, over to Aldo. Maybe you want to respond.
Yeah, I think the end goal of how many potential partners is definitely a metrics for the product market fit. But and I think I only mentioned this on the proper funnel. So yeah, and I haven't made the mid and the end funnel too. So I think I can mention that in there too for the mid and funnel.
Okay, okay, then that's great. Okay, and then let's move to over to Mas Rizal initiative about paid marketing. Okay, over to Mas Rizal. Why do you put three metrics, and would you explain more about this?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. From the first is I use impression metrics, which is using cost per miles. So basically, this is uh, just basic advertising that how many people can see the ads.
Hmm.
Basically, that's and also and move to clicks metric is I use cost per click. Why I use CPC because if my ads is interesting, they will move to action which is clicks, and that's for the CPC. And the third is gains in inquiry or contact with ratio that I point to a guest, partner, and also new candidate. So why I use this because if the people that see my ads and then already clicked, but the next action is they will send inquiry and also sending their contact to our firm or to our page. That's for my side. Yeah, back to Mr. Chair. Yeah.
Okay, so from what my understanding about the third point, gain inquiry or contact with ratio. So if you get inquiry from guests, you will offer to SAR, and if you get a partner inquiry, you will offer to maybe Mokoyana, and if you get a new candidate, you offer to SAR, HR, right? Okay. Okay, about this one, over to Hasbi. Hasbi, do you have any thought about this? Do you want to respond something about paid marketing?
I think it makes sense to delegate, like for example, what you just said, to the different departments,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean they're more specialized in that areas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I don't have much else to say about this. Thanks.
Okay, maybe over to Kezia. Kezia, do you want to say something about this? What's your thought?
Okay, maybe I need to ask about the paid marketing for guest partner or new candidate, where I mean the social media that you will use to do this paid marketing. I mean, like for guests, maybe you can use Instagram because Instagram goals is for guests, partner use Facebook, and new candidate LinkedIn. But I don't know LinkedIn have a paid marketing. Yeah, maybe is my question and my suggestion too. Thank you.
Okay, that's great, Kezia. So maybe Mas Rizal, do you want to respond it?
Yeah. Thank you, Kezia. But basically, for the tools, we still um, figure it out later. But at the first thing is we still figure out what is the problem itself, and then the channel that correct with the problem itself that maybe can move to the tool. So the tools is the very last decision from this matrix. Just to
Yes, over to Jing.
Okay, gentlemen, I think this is really good. I think you guys are onto something, and Kezia, of course. So there's two comments I would have on this one. First is the metrics, I think, need to have a second dimension. Okay, so you have a metric, but over what? Over time, right? So what is the, let's say for example, result, impression metric, CPM. Overall, since the beginning, every week. So think about it as in, let's say, if you want to see growth, you should measure it per unit of time. What is the impressions per week that we're getting? What is the clicks per week that we're getting? What is the inquiries per week that we're getting? Right? Over to Gani, if you're measuring your social media reach, impressions, output, two things to consider. One, I know it's easier to measure per channel, and that makes sense, but that might get you back into this idea of vanity statistics again, right? So we're measuring just like how much we're doing on each channel. I would say that it probably would be better to think about your audiences first, right? Your traveler audiences, your actual traveler audiences. What is your reach, impressions, and such? Your property owner audiences and such. Because then you will I think you'll filter the data that you're getting and really look at, is this actually reaching the target audience in a meaningful way? Otherwise, it gets very easy to be misled by vanity stats. Yes, I got 10,000 likes on Facebook, but these are coming from maybe not the right direction, right? So think about your audience and then filter it through the channel. You're scratching your chin because you're like, how do I do that, right? I'll show you where you might be able to get some insights on that. So what I want to show you guys, may I borrow the screen for a sec?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Okay. So we've done this in revenue management, and it's a pretty powerful concept. So this is what is a stacked chart, okay? So what you're seeing here is, this is the inquiries, but the inquiries are broken down into apartments, guest houses, house villas, and resorts, right? And this shows basically how many inquiries we're getting every day, and it shows the distribution of those inquiries. All right, similarly, ladies and gentlemen, you could do the same for impressions, reach, conversions, right? Impressions, reach. The impressions is always going to be the most, and then after that, the reach, and after that, the actual conversions or you know, like whatever you're trying to convert for. You can measure per day or per week if you like, okay? So you can see how these charts are going. This then lets you know if you're making progress along whatever you're doing, right? If the bars are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, that means you are making more impressions and you're growing your reach, right? If they're getting smaller and smaller and smaller, then that means you're not actually doing as well. The reason that's important is because on Instagram, on Facebook, what you generally see is you just see a snapshot, right? You just see how many impressions did I get today, how many reach did I get today, whatever that was. You cannot see a trend over time. So then you don't know if you're getting better over time, or you're just relying on your memory, right? I think I got more impressions last week, but I just don't really know. So part of improvement, I think, is collecting the data correctly. Now, question is, how are you going to get this? Ask Vidi. Vidi seems to be quite passionate about making dashboards and stuff, and he could probably figure out a way to scrape the Facebook, the Instagram, and all that information, compile that information, and create the stack charts for you. If this were converted into such a thing, then what you're looking for is this over time, gentlemen. Let's say the blue bar represents conversions. The total height of the bar represents impressions. So if you're getting a higher percentage of blue bar, right, a total stack, that means you're doing better. Right? It means that you're converting more. If you have a bar that looks like this, where the bar is tough, very tall, but the conversions are low, then you know you're not doing so good. So in one visualization, you can measure two things. You can measure your growth, but you can also measure at the same time, you can measure your efficiency in that particular channel, okay? So this is really good, but I would emphasize measure your measurement across time, right? So that way you'll know. At Bukit Vista, when we measure bookings, we don't measure like total number of bookings we've done, because that wouldn't tell us really anything. We measure the booking pace, right? So it's bookings divided by day. So similarly, you can measure your impression pace, or your conversion pace, or your inquiry pace, or your reach pace. And then this allows you to track and understand if you're getting better at what you're doing or if things aren't changing, okay? Vidi, I think, has some time on his hands right now, so I think it could be a good time to collaborate. Maybe, let's see, who knows Vidi? Okay, let's just put Gani. Gani, ask Vidi about if you can if he can help you create a tool to scrape data from Facebook, from Instagram, from LinkedIn, and then take this data and port it over to a chart so that you guys can see what you're doing. Okay, so that I think will be very helpful to success. Two, remember, at the end of the day, it's all about the audience. It's about the audience, right? So you're gonna have to like think a little bit and struggle a little bit how to get the audience information out of your statistics. You don't want the last thing you want to do is be advertising to an audience that is not relevant, right? So make sure that whatever you're getting, you don't get the channel noise, you get the audience signal from the end. After that, I think you're all good. Okay.
Yes, yes. Okay. Oh yeah, thank you, sir. That's very insightful, especially for me because as long as I know, I for the Instagram platform is they only shown the information about impression risk and etc. But it's a little bit difficult how to see which audience that we already targeted. Yeah, so yeah, maybe I want to ask PD for help. So yeah, as the information that I share you guys on the paper. So wait, sorry. Okay, so yeah, for the Instagram itself, for now, I just set the reach, impression, profile visit, and website clicks, and then the Facebook is page view, post reach, and post engagement, and the last is website visit, and is converted, and yes, after all of this, I will put the audience as a matrix. So yeah, thank you Ji, for the insight. And then for the last thing is from Mokoyana. The initiative is about the convert audience to buyer. So maybe after this, you should give the metrics or the KPI. What's your goal for this month? How many buyer or how many partner that you will get on this month? What kind of partner, what type of property? So we as at the chapter, we know that what's the goal of its initiative. So yeah, please write down your goal, your target on this one.
Okay, Gani.
Uh,
I will do that, and also maybe we can have a. I will have discussion with Lilis because I need
okay.
to be regarding the strategy and the new proposal. I think that will help as well.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. Okay, I think Aldo already back. I will offer it to Aldo. The floor is yours, please.
Okay, thank you, Mas Gani, for backing me up on the discussion. So I think I see James said too also about what are the most important topics to talk about. And I think one of the most important things to talk about is about the debus cards. So I think I'm going to talk about with the debus card first. So I see that DIBA has three initiatives that's hanging on the Trello. It's the first one is about the 360 tour. The next one is about website migration, and the last one is about the brand book. So I think from the 360 tour, I will take it over from here, and the website migration will be taken over by Mas Gani. And I think the last discussion is will about the brand book. What will we do with this card? Do we move it to done, or maybe someone will champion this and improve the brand book over the time? I will start the discussion. I think from Mas Rizal.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Char. I think from the card MC.5.0, the brand book itself, I think we can move it to done because I think everyone can already aware about we already have a new brand book, and I see that Andre and then uh, Lilis also start to applying this brand book to what their action on using design or maybe using the social media. Yeah, I think that's already applied on our for our internal.
Okay, thank you, Mas Rizal. Going to Kezia, what is your opinion about Mas Rizal's opinion?
Yeah, I do agree with Mas Rizal about the moving this card into done. And maybe if in the future we'll be changing the brand book, yeah, we can uh, someone can use this template. So yeah, maybe we can move it to done. Thank you.
Yeah, I think I also agree with the making this card a template. So if someone wants to improve this brand book, we can use that template. How about you, Mas Gani? What do you think?
Okay, from my side, uh, from all of process, all of progress of Dikas is done, so we can move it to done. But remember, the part, the most important thing is to keep remind all of the employee to keep use this brand book as a guideline. If you want to post something into any social media or the website or on everywhere, you should use this guidance for the person. So yeah, the next part that most importantly is keep reminding all to keep use this brand. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you, Mas Gani. Going to Hasbi, what is your opinion about Mas Gani's opinion?
I think what Mas Gani said made a lot of sense, but it should also be made as a template in case in the future we decide to move into other things, and then we can still like add on to this template and yeah, standardize stuff.
Okay, thank you, Hasbi, for your opinion. Final thoughts from you?
Yeah, I'll wrap what Haspi said and what Gani said together. I think I don't know if we're in the habit of using template cards in this chapter yet. So the idea is we don't reinvent the wheel each time, right? So when we start, let's say a new initiative to create a piece of content or a new ad or wherever that comes from, there should be some base material from a template card that we can use. So my suggestion to make sure that this always gets remembered is that you attach this to your template cards, right? So so maybe just a question, Gani. When you create, let's say, Facebook posts to help Lilith do the Facebook market optimization, now where do you begin that journey? Where do you go to create that content?
First, I create the design on the front first, and then I will make it can access by everyone, so everyone can edit this design, and then I will put it on the card on Trello. So
Okay, great. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Whatever card you have on Trello, attach Deba's rebranding card onto that, right? So then these cards are locked together. So that in the future, if somebody else wants to, let's say, do Facebook optimization, maybe Haspi can go and try out, hey, I want to do Facebook optimization. He doesn't have to start from zero. He would start from your work, but also referring to Deba's work, right? And result, when you post like an ad, you have, I think it's similarly a Trello card that you have there, and then you would just attach Deba's brand book onto that. And then every new card that we do should just attach that on as well. I'll help you from HR side as well because HR has the goal of making sure that best practices get circulated throughout the company. So like for example, when the university relations people they do their posts, I will attach Deba's brand book to that. So that way, when new, let's say, webinars or new invitations get created, they're always referring to this as a root material. This is one of the benefits of templates and using Trello, ladies and gentlemen, so that these kinds of things are not just forgotten. They're sort of woven into the fabric of the culture now. Oh, I'll do it. back to Gani.
Okay, okay. So I think the time is up. I don't know. It's yeah. I think the time is up. So oh yes, sir. To you.
I'm going to request an extension today because I think it's important.
Okay.
What I'm going to request is actually this. Diva is no longer here, right? So we need to figure out what the leadership structure is going to be at the moment, and let's clarify that because I think that is that's going to be fairly important. We have 2 or 3 days over the weekend and then Monday, so let's go into the weekend at least knowing what is the future of this chapter. Okay. So Aldo, is Aldo there?
Yeah.
Okay. Aldo, if I may, I'll quickly lead this discussion and then I'll hand it over. So, question on the paper. If we can load up the discussion paper again, and the question is, are you guys ready for self leadership at this point? And let's go around and see how everyone feels about that. Okay, well, I guess I'll have to pick somebody. Let's go with Kezia. Kezia, are you guys ready for self-leadership?
Did you ask this question for marketing team?
Yeah. Do you guys feel like you're ready to sort of, like, what would happen if I don't come anymore? Would it be better or would it be worse?
So, my opinion, we are ready for self-leadership. On the other side, we learn about it too. So yeah, maybe it can be together. We are learning and also ready for the self-leadership, I guess. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. All right, over to Aldo.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we have to determine this self-leadership more. What is that about, and how is the self-leadership? Because if no one's going to lead this chapter, like the real leading, but and it will be like not nggak terarah gitu.
Okay. Not aligned.
Yeah, it's not aligned. So I think self leadership is good, but someone needs to control the path and the autonomy.
Okay, interesting. Let's go over to Haspi. Haspi's new here. What do you think about self-leadership?
I think we are all sufficient in our own domains, but as a whole, I think it's useful to have somebody to set the direction, as what Aldo said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Let's go over to Rizal. Rizal, what are your thoughts?
From my side is I think we are ready because every day we start from BV 4.0. We learn how to control our initiative, control our card, and give the update, which there's no one asking for the update, but we already have a self-driven uh, initiative to write the update and give the update. I think we already learn how to be a self-leadership, but sometimes people need feedback also from the other member. So I think from the circle that we already like feedback cycle is very important to us.
Okay. All right. Very good. Over to Wayana.
I think I'm kind of agree with a result. So basically, leadership is like what you call like I mean, if we have like clear goal, like, and then I for sure like everyone will be like know where to go. But if not sure, just feel comfortable. Like, hey, I'm actually want to go this way. I'm stuck in the middle. Like, but I'm not going. I'm not achieving like where I want to go. Like, I don't know where I'm wrong or where I'm. So basically, to knowing like where you stuck at. I think should be the research should be ready, but it's just knowing where to ask question when
Okay.
we need to do it. Yeah.
Okay, really good. Really good. Okay, let's go over to Gani. Gani last. You guys ready for self-leadership?
I think the self leadership already start when the BV 4.0. We already understand about the written communication. I think it's pretty fluent, and the verbal communication as well, and the feedback cycle. It's most importantly that if we are stuck or something, so someone will give the feedback. Oh, you should go there, and then so we can improve it together. But from my opinion, what we need is the something like supervisor. So yeah, if the feedback cycle is still keep running, but we need someone that watching from the top. That is it our path is already aligned. So I think that's the most hard the most hard of all. So yeah,
Interesting. Very interesting, Gani. Okay, let's ask a very fundamental question, right? And see who can get it. What if you were to measure one metric, right? Give us one metric for understanding if this chapter is successful. What metric would that be? Okay, one metric. Let's go over to Rizal first. What metric would you measure to see if this chapter is successful at what they do?
For my side is the new leads that convert to be our partner right now.
Okay, all right. Let's go over next to Aldo.
Actually, I have no idea, sir.
Okay, all right. Let's go next to Kezia.
The metric is we got more maybe like audience, new partner, and the guest. I think yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's go next to Haspi.
I would say that each individual work is done with the company's goal in alignment, something like that.
Okay, all right. Next to Aldo. Oh wait, Aldo already. Sorry. Next to Gani.
One metric, I think quite hard, but I more agree with Kezia. So basically, our audience is a guest, partner, and new candidate. So if we can gain more these three audience, so I think that's our marketing goal, right?
Okay. All right. So I think you guys still need some leadership here.
Okay.
And I think Rizal came the closest, right? It's the number of partnerships per month, okay? The number of partnerships per month. Think about your entire step. Think about your mission, everyone, right? Your mission as a chapter is to acquire any property anywhere, right? Remember that. That's the mission of the chapter. Now, Gani is right. There are skill sets in the chapter that other chapters are collaborating with you to help on their particular missions. And that's good. That's cross-functionality, okay? But that's not the mission of this chapter. That's not why we have these meetings every week. The mission of this chapter is to acquire any property anywhere and discover the best properties around the world. So whatever you're doing to help that is aligned work. Whatever you're doing to help other people is just helping other people, right? So sure, when Gani helps, let's say, Kiki on a university program, that's helping expand our employee potential candidate audience. But that's not part of this mission. That's part of the HR mission, right? When Gani helps the HAR team do Instagram posts or whatever, when Kiki does that, that's not helping this mission. That's helping the HAR mission, right? So that part, I think, it needs to be clear, right? We need to actually go towards that thing. And Gani's right? So let's make sure that this work is actually kind of aligned in the direction that we wanted to go into. Now, here's where I would zoom out a little bit. Does everyone remember the mission of leadership? Let's go to Rizal really quick. Rizal, what's the 4 layers in the mission of leadership?
Delegating. I forget, sir.
Let's go to Haspi. Haspi just went through the course. All right, let's see. Haspi, what are the 4 layers in the mission of leadership?
Discovery,
Okay.
prioritization,
All right.
execution, and problem solving.
Yes, but problem solving before execution, right? We don't want to execute something before we solve the problem. Discovery, prioritization, problem solving, and execution. Okay, let's go over to Rizal. Rizal, do you feel confident that the chapter at the current moment, let's say, can discover all the most important ideas on their own?
I think we can because we already have feasible action that we already have with professional working. So we can, if we can start with our idea, we can see the insight from that list.
Okay, very good. What about over to Aldo? Do you feel like the chapter can prioritize what needs to be done first?
Sorry, sir, you're breaking.
Do you feel like the chapter can actually prioritize well? Like what we're working on is the most important things at the moment to help us achieve our mission?
I think because yeah, we can find the prioritize, but somehow that we feel like we're somehow lost maybe, and we're going back to the prioritization again.
Okay, when you feel lost, that means discovery is not so good, right? Feeling lost means that you're not discovering what the key focus needs to be. So that's a discovery issue. Prioritization is a second issue. Like if you're doing a lot of activity, but you're not generating results, or you're spending a lot of time, but nothing is really coming out, that's a prioritization issue. If you're getting stuck on the same problem over months and months and months, that's a problem-solving issue, right? That means like you haven't thought of how to crack that nut yet. If you know what to do, but nothing is getting done, that's an execution issue, right? That means that there's no follow-up, there's no going ahead and doing things. Okay, let's do this. I thought of a pretty bold idea. Why don't we do this? Why don't you guys each give each other practice on being chapter lead, okay? And so what I'm thinking is this. Next week, one of you will be elected to be chapter lead, and that person will go to a leadership guild, okay, for leadership training once a week, right? Next week, have another person. Next week, have another person. Do this for, let's say, 3 weeks, okay? At the end of 3 weeks, you guys will decide who your permanent chapter lead will be, okay? Does that sound good? So basically, here's the program. Get together. Maybe I'll leave the room, and you guys, or actually, it doesn't matter if I'm here or not, right? Select 3 people that you want to actually be, let's say, the top 3 candidates to lead the chapter, okay? So 3 people. After that, each person will spend a week leading the chapter, but also getting guidance and coaching from Leadership Guild, right? So what we'll do is we'll do leader development programs, right? We'll teach you guys how to become leaders, okay? And then at the end, 3 people will have trained, 3 people will have tried leading, and then I think you guys can decide who you want to have to be your permanent lead, okay? And that I think is the best process. That way everyone gets some experience. Everyone who tries it will see if they like doing it or not. But everyone else will get feedback too as well. Okay? And I think out of that, we will start getting a stronger leadership culture, and you guys can roll on your own. All right. Just out of curiosity, does anybody want to nominate somebody to be a candidate for a chapter lead?
I want to nominate Mas Gani.
Okay. All right. Gani, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, I accept the nomination.
Okay. We got one candidate, Gani. All right. Do we have any other nominations?
I nominate Mas Rizal.
Okay. All right. Rizal, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, I accept the nomination.
Okay. Do we have a third nominee?
I nominate Aldo.
Okay, very good. All right, Aldo. Okay, fantastic. This is good. So what will happen is this. Gunny, you're going to be on first rotation. Rizal will be next rotation. Aldo, you're on third rotation, right? So you're all nominees for chapter lead. I'm setting up a leadership development program starting this week, and I will show you guys how to do certain things, certain managerial tasks, right? Like prioritizing your team's work, like managing problems, seeking guidance. These are, I think, are all crucial skills to have as actually a leader, okay? And then at the very end, we'll bring you guys back, and hopefully by August, we can pick a chapter lead for this, and we'll lead. If we can't find a chapter lead, then maybe what we'll do is we'll create a difference in thinking. Maybe we'll have a process manager and maybe a project manager, right? For example. But ideally, let's get somebody who understands the mission of this chapter, who's ready to direct everybody else to focus on the mission, and as in Gunny's words, supervise, right? And then know how to interface with other chapters, other chapter leads, and know how to interface with me as, let's say, on the executive team, okay? All right, great. I think we're going to make some progress here. It'll be fun. Back to Aldo.
Okay, thank you, Jing, for the discussion. It's very insightful and challenging. And I think that's all from the meeting because we are over time already. So maybe last section, feedback for my sharing. Do you guys have any feedback from me? Yeah, Mas Riza.
Yeah, I think on this Scrum part, you are really good, and also you can see the uncertainty on each card, and also you also mentioned Wayan to move the unupdated card to the done. And from the discussion meeting, probably you can your friction is only on your internet connection.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's true that today. Okay, thank you, Mas Rizal, for your feedback. Maybe Mas Gani, do you have any feedback for me? Okay, thank you, Mas Gani. Kezia, do you have any feedback for me? Thank you. Hasbi, do you have any feedback? Thank you, Mawayan. Do you have any feedback for me?
All good, Aldo.
Thank you, Mawayan. Next but not least, last but not least, Jing.
Yeah, I have very good feedback for you, Alda, by the way. Thank you for, like, when Rizal was about to shuffle that card, but we hadn't heard back from Steve, I thought that was a really good catch. That's something that was going to get buried under the carpet, but we caught it, and you pointed me out for it, so that's good, stepping on toes. And you stepped on toes again for Wayana's case when her communication wasn't clear. You made it known, and you suggested the right thing for her to do. And also, so that's all on execution, right? On prioritization and discovery, really good. I think you brought up the most important subject that we should talk about, which was, yes, what are we going to do about Diva's cards? That's not, it's not an easy thing, but it needs to be faced head on, and you did that. So I thought that's really good. That's progressive. Good job, Bang.
Okay, thank you, Jing, for your feedback. I think that's all from our Scrum today. So I'll let you guys have your break time, your lunch. Thank you for today and see you on next Scrum. It's Monday.
All right. See you next time.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Have a good day.